Okay, so good morning, everyone. See, this is the most important topic. Okay, this is your now rigid pavement design as per. Sorry. Wait, okay. Mouse is not working. Okay, leave it.
Yes, ma'am.
See, this is. प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है रुको ओके सॉरी So rigid pavement design as per IRC 50. See here we have to use our code, okay, and this is the code for the rigid pavement design.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you must keep your code along with you in order to solve this problem. Okay, so before starting, see, we know we are designing the rigid pavement or whether it is flexible pavement. What we are doing, we are basically designing the thickness, okay, of the pavement. In the case of
Yes.
your rigid pavement, here we are designing the thickness of the slab. So first what we have to do, we have to assume certain thickness of the slab, then we will calculate other parameters, and what we will do, we will do check, right, whether the assumed parameter, that is here the assumed thickness, will satisfy our conditions or not. Now here what is the condition that it has to satisfy? It has to satisfy that throughout its design life, whatever amount of the wheel load has been applied is being applied over that slab, okay, it should tackle those load without any failure. Here failure means here crack, all these things, okay. So we have to design the thickness in such a way that it will uh, it will carry load throughout its design life without any failure, okay. So before going designing, so before going to the design procedure, okay, we have to know the what is the amount of the load that will be catered on that pavement, okay, throughout its design life, what amount of the axle load will be coming over that pavement, okay. So first is what? Design traffic estimate, okay. We have to calculate the design traffic estimate. In case of your flexible pavement, it was denoted by capital N. I think you know that, okay. It was denoted by capital N. See, it is like same formula only. Only difference is that there were other extra parameters that we need to multiply, or you can say other extra factors were multiplied with this term. Everybody knows this, I think, equation. I've given this in your CA2 also, CA1 also. Yeah. So here same formula we are using to calculate what? This is the number of cumulative repetition of axle load that will be coming over that particular pavement throughout its design life, okay. See here, ऐसा तो नहीं होता. It's not like that today it suppose 100 vehicles is coming over that pavement, okay. Next day it will be little bit increasing, right? Next year it will be more than 100 vehicles. So throughout its design life, what happens? We are saying that it will grow at a certain growth rate, which is denoted by R, right? So here R term is also included, okay, and that value will depend upon the initial traffic also. We must know what is the initial traffic. Say for example, construction started from this year. After 3 years, construction completed. Now what we are doing, we are allowing the traffic to use that pavement, okay. So what is the present traffic? What is that? Suppose 2020 was the construction period, it was started, okay. After 3 years it is completed, so 2023. So after 2023 you are using the traffic, you are using the pavement. So what is the present traffic? That means this is what traffic when it was started to use, okay. So that is traffic in the year 2023, okay. So now
Yes, ma'am.
Say for example, traffic was present traffic at 2023 is your 1000 CVPD, commercial vehicle per day. We know, okay, we have to design as per commercial vehicle. Okay, now
Yes.
commercial vehicle means what? Those vehicle whose laden weight is greater than, or whose gross weight, loaded weight is greater than 3 tons. Those vehicles are known as CVPD. There are several vehicles, okay, but for design, what we are doing, we are considering only those vehicles, those number of vehicles whose CVP, whose your gross weight will be greater than 3 tons. Okay, 3 tons. So that's why it is unit is CVPD. So present traffic is what? The traffic in the year 2023 when your pavement was started. Okay, when your roadway was started to use. Okay, here R is growth rate. Why growth rate? Because we are calculating what our design traffic. That means traffic that will come over the pavement from 2023. Say for example, its design life is 20 years. So 2023 plus 20 means we have to consider for traffic for whole 2023 to 2043 years, right? If our design life of that pavement is 20 years. Okay, so from 2023 to 2043, what is the total cumulative? Please remember, cumulative we have to calculate. Okay, so for example, on 2023 it was 1500. In the next year it was 2000. Okay, so what is the cumulative? 1500 plus 2000, right? 3500. In the next year again 2025 it was your suppose 1000. So 2500. So 1000 1500 plus 2000 plus 2500 will be the cumulative traffic in the year of 2025. Okay, so in this way we are calculating cumulative. Okay, so that's why it is called cumulative repetition of load for design period. Say for 23 to plus 20 year is the design life. So from 23 to 43, 2023 to 43, what is the cumulative traffic? Okay, so these are the terms. Okay, now in this term, what we have to do? We have to, obviously this value will be a huge value, right? Now what we are doing? We have to multiply
Yes.
this factor, this number with certain factors. Okay, now what are those factors and why we are multiplying? So those factors are, first factor is what? Lateral placement of wheel load. Okay, here lateral placement, why?
Yes.
See, it is considered that maximum stress will be this. See, there are three conditions of critical loading conditions, right? First is that it's at the edge of the slab, at the corner, and at the interior. Okay, and we have also calculated or solved many problems which shows that at the edge the stress is more, right? Always at the edge your stress is little bit higher compared to the stresses developed at the interior or the corner. Okay, so for critical condition or for design purpose, what we will condition? Obviously we will condition for the higher value only. Okay, for more critical value only. Now more critical means at the edge, and it is considered that the number of vehicles, suppose throughout its design life, suppose 1 lakh, or we can say suppose 10,000 vehicles has traveled, has used that particular pavement. Okay, say for example, throughout its design life, I will give an example. Okay, 100 vehicles have used that pavement. Okay, now it is said that out of 100 vehicles, 25 vehicle will use edge of the pavement. Okay, it is not like that all vehicle will use the center portion, all vehicle will travel from the interior portion, all vehicle will travel from the corner. Okay, so out of 100 vehicles, 25 vehicles will be assumed to use the edge of the pavement. Okay, that means they will travel along the edge
Yes.
of the pavement. Okay, so this is for 100 vehicles. That is for 100 percentage, 25% will use your edge of the pavement, and that we should consider for design. Why? Because at the edge we know it gives us the critical condition, right? At the edge it will give us the critical value. That means stresses at that time will be very high. So we have to consider the highest stress for designing. So here what we are doing, see, using this factor, using this formula, we will get the total number of vehicles that will be catered through that pavement for 20 years. Okay, so out of that vehicles, out of those many vehicles, how many vehicles will use will use the age of the pavement? 25%. Okay, so we have to consider load for 25% only. Okay, rest will use say, interior and corner, but in that case it will not develop the highest stress. They will develop highest stress only when they will use your edge of the pavement. So we have to consider for our design purpose only the number of the vehicles which will use the edge of the pavement. Now what is that? 25%. Okay, so among this only 25% will be passing from the edge. So we have to calculate what is that 25% traffic. Okay, so here what we will do, 25 by 100 into C, we will get one value. We have to use those value, those number of counts, not the total count. Okay, I think this is clear. So the design traffic will be what? 25% of the total repetition of commercial vehicle, that is 25% of the C. Okay, now next step is what? Next step is what we have to consider. We have to calculate critical stress condition load. Okay. Okay, this as I said, why we are using 25%? Because critical stress will be developed at the edge. That's why we are
Ma'am,
taking
एक student join पढ़ा
okay.
ठीक है मैम
This 25% critical stress condition is what? When it is maximum flexural stress will occur when tire touches the longitudinal edge. That's why we are taking 25%. Okay. Now comes the load consideration. Okay, in case of your rigid pavement, or we know that we have, there is one more term. In case of your flexible pavement, what we are using? Your standard axle. Okay, the standard axle for single axle was what? It was 8.6 tons, right? And for tandem axle it was 14.96 tons. Okay, but in MCQ they may ask, okay, what is the legal axle value of single axle configuration? See, first, if they have asked you what is the standard value or standard axle load for single axle configuration, it was 8.26 tons. Okay, but for legal axle, what is this? It is 10.2. See here, legal axle is greater than your standard axle. Please remember, in your MCQ, they may ask legal axle is what? It is greater than standard axle, lesser than, equal to, or what? Okay. So your answer should be legal axle will always be greater than the standard axle. Okay. Legal axle means what? You cannot see. Standard axle is something standard. It may be greater than or lesser than that standard axle. Okay. But legal means what? You cannot allow vehicle above that load. Above the legal axle, you cannot allow those vehicles. Okay. So for example, one vehicle whose standard axle was 8.16 ton. Okay. But because of its loading, what happened? That standard axle of that particular vehicle is increased. It is more than the standard value. Okay. Say for example, it came out to be 9 tons. Okay. So we can allow that type of vehicles to use the pavement. Why? Because it is below its legal axle value, which is 10.2. Okay. But if that particular vehicle, its weight will reach, or it will extend this value, say for example, the total gross weight of that particular single axle vehicle was your 15 tons. Okay, configuration of that vehicle is single axle, but its gross weight came out to be 15 tons. Okay, but we know that legal axle should be 10.2 tons for that type of vehicle. Okay, so it is exceeding our legal axle, so we should stop that vehicle and we should ask it. They are not allowed. Basically, such vehicles should not be allowed. Why? We are designing our pavement based on this axle load only. Okay, so if it exceeds that legal axle, then there obviously, if we allow such kind of vehicles, then the pavement will start to it will fail within its design life. Okay, it will not tackle those loads. So these are the values. So in question they may ask legal axle load is greater than standard axle load, lesser than, or what? Your answer should be, it should be greater than, always greater than the standard axle load. Okay. And And this is also, you must remember, your tire pressure should be 0.7 to 1.1 MPa, or on average it is 0.8 MPa. Okay. Now, see, this is the factor. Okay. Now, using this factor, what we have to do? We have to use some other factors also. Okay. Now, what is that factors? That is load safety factor. We have to increase that number. Okay. Increase. Suppose it came out to be 10,000. Then now we have to increase it more. Okay. By how much? By this much. Say, for example, load safety factor for expressway or national highway or some other important highways. Okay. Important ways. In that case, your LSF will be 1.2. LSF for less important road. Okay. That means if having load trucks, those are that value will be 1.1. And for residential or like your rural areas like that, okay, in that case, if so for example, in the village road and all this thing, okay, your LSF will be 1. Please remember this value also. Okay, 1.2 for national highway, important roads, less important, it is 1.1. And for other domestic roads and all this thing, it will be 1. Okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
now see, calculation of wheel load stresses. See, whatever we are dealing, what we are doing, we are calculating the stress only. We will see the stress developed due to loading. In case of rigid pavement, we know we have to calculate the stresses only, right? First, what is those? What are those stresses? Stress due to loading and stress due to temperature. We have already discussed, right? Now, stress due to loading, it may be at the edge, corner, and interior, right? And also for warp temperature, there are two types of the loading. For temperature, we know it is frictional loading, and one is your warping stress. Okay. So first comes your wheel load stress. Okay. So we know for for the edge stress, there was one formula. Westergaard equation was one formula, right? I think you already know that formula. So they have now in IRC 58, what they have done, they have modified those formulas, okay, of Westergaard equations. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And instead of equation, now you can use chart for calculating the edge stress. Okay. Instead of equation, what they have done, instead of using Westergaard equation, they have modified that equation and they have developed some charts. Okay. See, this chart will look like this. Okay. So y-axis is the flexural stress, or it is actually the load due to edge, at the edge loading. Okay. And this is x-axis is your slab. Okay, this is your slab thickness. Okay. And for calculating, see, this is your basically the edge flexural stress. That means what? This is actually the load due to stresses at the edge. So we can calculate using this value using simply the charts. Okay. And this is given in your IRC 58. See, these charts are given in IRC 58 in Appendix 1 from your page 33 to 52. See here, let us go.
Yes, ma'am.
See, these are the charts. Okay. Okay, let's rotate it. See, is it visible? Everyone? Can you see the chart?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See, okay. See, now what are the factors or parameters we should consider for using this chart? Okay. First, we have to see this one. Okay, whether it is for single axle load or tandem axle load. Okay, and these are the values they have already given. Okay, say for example, single axle load 6 tons. For this kind of load, we have to use this chart. Okay, and here you can see this. This is your edge stress, and this is your slab thickness. So we must know, or we have first what we are doing. We are designing the slab thickness. That means we are assuming slab thickness, certain value of slab thickness. Okay, so for example, we assume it is 30 centimeter. Okay. Now see, for 30 centimeter, what we will do? We will go vertically above. Okay, vertically. Now see, there are so many graphs. This one, this one, this one, this one. 5 graphs
Yes, ma'am.
are here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, which graph we have to use? Which curve we have to use? Okay. Which curve we have to use? See here. First curve is what? For modulus of subgrade reaction. When your modulus of subgrade reaction, it is denoted by kite shape. Okay. So this graph, this curve, first curve. Okay. For modulus of subgrade reaction is equals to what? K equals to 6 kg per centimeter cube. Okay, if in question they have
Yes.
given you, suppose K value is 8 kg per centimeter cube. So it is which one? This is the second one, or we can say the
Yes.
square portion. Okay, this portion is this symbol is what? It is square. First is kite, square, dash, then like this and like this. Okay, so square one. So for example, here you can see that the second graph or the curve is this one. Okay, this is first, second, third, like that. So we have to use this graph, or sorry, this curve. Now how we will use? Say our what was our assumption was 30, so we will go above like this. Okay, then we will, sorry, we will touch this line. Okay, where we will see where we are touching this line, sorry, here we are touching. Okay, now go parallel, or we can say go towards y axis. Okay, so like this we are going towards y axis. Sorry. So suppose here. Okay, so our for h equals to 30 and for k equals to 8, what is the flexural stress value? 5. We can say suppose it is 7. Okay, so 7 kg per centimeter square is our required flexural stress for that particular condition. Okay, where what is condition? We must know this, whether this is for single axle or tandem axle, then what is the value of your single axle. Okay, sorry, see, we have to see whether it is your single axle, okay, or tandem axle.
6 ton.
And K value is what, and what is your H value. So all these factor must be known to us beforehand. See here, for single axle 8 ton, we are using this graph. Okay, there are so many graphs. Depending upon your single axle value, H value, K value, we are using. Okay, now these are the single axle. Now what is, there are other graph also for tandem axle. Okay, see here, now it starts. Tandem axle, see, tandem axle load 12 tons, we will use this graph, same manner. Okay, I think this is clear how to use the graph, everyone? Okay, I will show you one example. Okay, don't worry. Now let us go to the next step. See, next step is what? See, like this chart we are using for calculating the stresses. This is what? For edge stress, or we can say not edge, we can say this is due to loading. What is the stress due to loading? Okay, at the edge or interior or edge. Okay, now after that we have to calculate one more factor, what is the stress ratio. Now again I would like to give one example. Stress ratio is what? This portion is your flexural stress due to loading. This is your external load. What is this? This is the stress developed due to external factors. Okay, your external factor is what? Load. This is your semester paper. Okay, toughness of the semester paper, numerator, and denominator is what? Flexural strength of the concrete. That means your capacity. Okay, this is the load which is applied to you from outer atmosphere, and this is what? This is your interior load carrying capacity. Okay, so stress ratio for design to be safe, or what we said, your stress ratio is what? Basically the toughness of the paper, semester paper, divided by your strength. Okay, now here strength is what? Your flexural strength. In case of concrete, it is flexural strength. Okay, now in question this value will also be provided to you. What is the flexural strength of the concrete? Okay, only what we have to do, we have to calculate this one, and this we have learned how to calculate using charts. Okay, those charts only we are using for getting this flexural stress. See here, flexural stress. Okay. Now we will get one value for flexural stress. Okay. So see
Yes.
here, now using this flexural stress, we have to calculate one more term, which is capital N, then that is what? Fatigue life. Now what is fatigue life? Fatigue life is infinity for stress ratio less than 0.45. Fatigue life will be we have to use this value. Okay, when your S value lies between this 0.45 and 0.55, suppose your SR value is suppose 0.5, then you use 0.5 here, substitute 0.5 and calculate N. Okay, or if your SR is greater than 0.55, then what we are doing? We are using this equation. These are basically three equations are here. Okay, you need not to remember this equation. It is already given in page 14, I think. See, it's already given in page 14, right? So 14. See here. Is it visible? See this portion. It's in page 14. Okay, see. If your SR came out to be less than 4.45, N is unlimited, that is infinity. Okay, if your SR is within this range, N will be this. We have to use this equation. Okay. So what we are doing? We are calculating N. Now what is fatigue life? Fatigue life means the life of the pavement, or we can say what is the expected number of the vehicles that can come across your pavement. Okay. You can use this equation or you can use directly this chart. Okay. Now see here. Say for example, this is the toughness of the paper, and this is your what? This was your strength. If more is the tough, then how many paper you can give? If your toughness of the paper is more, your SR will be what? More or less? If numerator is more, your SR value will be obviously more, right? Right. If your toughness of the paper is more than this your capacity or your preparation, okay, so obviously this term will also be higher value. Okay, so if this is toughness is more, that means the chance of your failure or chance of your supply papers or the number of the supply papers will be more, right? So if your toughness of this paper is less, or we can say the toughness of the semester is less compared to your preparation, then what happens? Your number of supply papers will be less. Is it clear? अगर ये टफनेस तुम्हारा सेमेस्टर का मतलब हर सब कुछ मिलाकर अगर टफनेस तुम्हारा ज्यादा है तुम्हारा प्रिपरेशन से, तो तुम्हारा ऑब्वियसली सप्ली आने का चांस भी बढ़ जाएगा, राइट? एंड अगेन इफ इट इज लेस, टफनेस इज लेस या हार्डनेस इज लेस, देन तुम्हारा सप्ली आने का जो भी है, जितना सब्जेक्ट में सप्ली आएगा वो भी नंबर काउंट कम हो जाएगा। क्लियर? तो वैसा होने से तुम कितना बार एग्जाम दे सकते हो? अब बोलो, तुम्हारा सप्ली पेपर बहुत कम है, ठीक है, तो तुम बहुत ज्यादा पेपर दे सकते हो, ऐसा वाला टाइप का मतलब इजीली दे पाओगे, राइट? विदाउट एनी टेंशन के वजह से, मतलब कुछ टेंशन लिए बिना तुम देते रहोगे वैसा वाला पेपर, राइट? तो जितना भी पेपर आए तुम देते रहोगे, मतलब तुम फेल होने का चांसेस तुम्हारा कम है, तो तुम इजीली देते रहोगे, राइट? लेकिन बहुत टफ वाला पेपर बार बार आ रहा है, तो क्या हो जाएगा? एक टाइम में आके तुम हाल छोड़ दोगे, राइट? दैट मीन्स व्हाट? तुम बोलोगे हम फेल हो चुके, हमको करना ही नहीं है, अब हम ले ही नहीं सकते और टेंशन, राइट? तो दैट टेंशन इज नथिंग बट द फैटिग लाइफ। देखो, टफनेस ऑफ द पेपर इज लेस, योर एसआर विल बी लेस, दैट मीन्स देखो एसआर यहाँ पे रेंज कितना है? 0.45, 0.55 या 0.45 से कम या 0.55 से ज्यादा, ठीक है? सो अगर हम लोग का एसआर कम है तो मतलब क्या है? तुम्हारा फ्लेक्सुरल स्ट्रेस, सॉरी, योर टफनेस ऑफ दैट सेमेस्टर इज वेरी लेस, इसीलिए तो एसआर वैल्यू भी लेस आ रहा है, राइट? सो एसआर मतलब तुम्हारा प्रिपरेशन बहुत अच्छा है, इसका मतलब प्रिपरेशन बहुत अच्छा है, राइट? तो तुम बहुत बार एग्जाम, ऐसा टाइप का एग्जाम दे सकते हो। सो तुम्हारा फैक्टिग लाइफ देखो इन्फिनिटी है, जितना कम होएगा ये टफनेस उतना एसआर का वैल्यू भी कम रहेगा. सो योर नंबर ऑफ, तुम जितना बार दे सकते, तुम मतलब अपनी मर्जी से इन्फिनिटी टाइम्स बार दे सकते हो अगर इतना इजी पेपर आता ही रहेगा तो, राइट. लेकिन अगर तुम्हारा टफनेस, मतलब ये जो सेमेस्टर का पेपर बहुत टफ कर दिया, तुम्हारे जो भी लेवल है प्रिपरेशन से है जितना भी, मतलब बहुत बार, जैसे गेट का एग्जाम जैसे बोलते हैं, ठीक है, एक सेमेस्टर का एक गेट का. अब गेट का क्या होता है, जनरली टफ होता है, राइट, या दूसरे एग्जाम्स का भी देखो जनरली टफ होता है. तो क्या हो जाएगा, ऑब्वियसली एसआर वैल्यू विल बी मोर. ठीक है, एसआर अगर ज्यादा है तो तुम कितना बार दे सकते हो, एक लिमिट रहता है, राइट, वो पेपर देने का. तुम बार बार फेल हो रहे तो क्या हो जाएगा, तुम एक हाल छोड़ दोगे, मतलब ड्रॉप आउट कर दोगे, राइट. सो एन का वैल्यू भी वैसे ये रिड्यूस होता होता जाएगा. सो दिस वैल्यू देखो थोड़ा कम आएगा, ये वाला थोड़ा और कम आएगा. ठीक है, तो जैसे जितना एसआर रिड्यूस होगा एन विल बी मोर. ओके, टफनेस जितना कम होगा तुम्हारा एग्जाम, नंबर ऑफ एग्जाम कितना बार दोगे तुम, ज्यादा बार दोगे. ठीक है, सो दिस इज दैट वन ओनली. सिमिलरली जब तुम्हारा ड्यू टू लोड, मतलब एक्सटर्नल लोड की वजह से जो स्ट्रेसेस डेवलप हो रहा है पेवमेंट में, अगर वो बहुत कम है, ठीक है, तो क्या हो जाएगा, स्ट्रेस रेशियो विल बी लेस. अगर लोड की वजह से स्ट्रेसेस बहुत कम आ रहा है तो वैसा टाइप का व्हीकल जो लोड स्ट्रेस दे रहा है, ठीक है, वो कितना बार जाएगा, वो रिपीटेटिव वे में चलता ही जाएगा, मतलब वो अलाउ करता ही रहेगा. पेवमेंट सर्टेन थिकनेस के लिए वो फेल नहीं करेगा, जल्दी फेल नहीं करेगा. तो उसको हम इन्फानाइट टाइम्स, हम लोग अगर तुम उसके रास्ते के ऊपर इन्फानाइट टाइम्स वो वाला व्हीकल पास करो जिसका एसआर लेस देन 0.45 है, मतलब वो फेल नहीं करेगा. सो फैटिग लाइफ इसका बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा. फैटिग मतलब क्या है, तुम्हारे ऊपर किसी ने मतलब पोक किया तो क्या हो जाए, एक टाइम पे आके यू विल बी फैटिग, मतलब कंटिन्यूस रिपीटेशन ऑफ लोड आने से क्या हो रहा है, एक फैटिगनेस आ जाता है, राइट. वैसे यहाँ पे भी वही है कि इसका फैटिग लाइफ कैसा है. ठीक है, तो जितना एसआर का वैल्यू कम है, मतलब फ्लेक्सुरल स्ट्रेस, बाहर से जो लोड आ रहा है, ट्रैफिक लोड आ रहा है, उसका स्ट्रेस कम है. कम होने से क्या हो जाएगा, ऑब्वियसली वो ज्यादा दिन तक उसको ले पाएगा, राइट. सो फैटिग लाइफ विल बी मोर. अब स्ट्रेस रेशियो ज्यादा मतलब है तुम्हारा ड्यू टू एक्सटर्नल लोड, स्ट्रेस जो डेवलप हो रहा है उसके ऊपर वो भी ज्यादा है. तो मतलब हेवी लोडेड ट्रक्स बार बार जा रहा है तो क्या होगा, एक टाइम पे आके वो फेल कर लेगा, राइट. तो उसका एक लिमिट दे देगा कि अच्छा तुम ट्रैवल करो लेकिन इतना नंबर ऑफ व्हीकल से हम अलाउ करेंगे, राइट. तो वो एक लिमिटेशन में आ रहा है. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए एन का वैल्यू देखो अभी घटता घटता जाएगा. So you can use this equation or we can use this chart also. Okay, देखो ये चार्ट भी तुमको दिया है, ये वाला देखो स्ट्रेस रेशियो चार्ट. ठीक है, देखो फॉर स्ट्रेस रेशियो 0.45 अलाउएबल रिपीटेशन, मतलब कितना तुम अलाउ कर सकोगे एक गाड़ी को रिपीटेटिव वे में उसके ऊपर से चढ़ने से, कितना बार, इतना बार. ठीक है, 0.46 हो गया, देखो थोड़ा कम हो गया. 0.47 मतलब ये स्ट्रेस अब बढ़ता जा रहा है, देखो स्ट्रेस बढ़ता जा रहा है, मतलब क्या, स्ट्रेस रेशियो इट इज आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग. अब स्ट्रेस रेशियो इंक्रीजिंग है तो तुम कितना बार अलाउ करोगे, ऑब्वियसली कम बार ही इंक्रीज, मतलब अलाउ करते जाओगे. सो देखो इट इज नाउ रिड्यूसिंग, द नंबर और द डिजिट इज रिड्यूसिंग. Okay, so in this way you can calculate. Now say for example your stress ratio came out to be suppose 0.455, तो कौन सा लोगे, इन दोनों के बीच का अगर है तो वी कैन इंटरपोलेट. ओके, so we know the value of 0.45, we know the value of 0.46, what we will do, we will interpolate, मतलब 0.45 और 0.46 के बीच का वैल्यू है 0.455, तो 0.455 के लिए इन दोनों का इंटरपोलेशन करना है. ओके, ऐसे यू कैन कैलकुलेट द allowable repetition or rather it is what fatigue life. Okay, now after calculating the fatigue life करना क्या है हमको, देखो ये चार्ट से आ रहा है. ठीक है, फैटिग लाइफ कैसे करते हैं वो हम लोगों ने सीख लिया. ओके, अब ये वाला चार्ट है तुम्हारा किस चीज का, दिस इज फॉर योर ये, अच्छा ये वाला चार्ट बोलो तो कहाँ पे देखा था तुम लोगों ने, this is what L by L and this is B by L, where we will use this chart, we will use this chart for calculating temperature stress. Okay, यहाँ पे दो टाइप का टेम्परेचर स्ट्रेस होता है, एक फ्रिक्शनल एक वार्पिंग. अब ये वाला कौन सा स्ट्रेस के लिए होता है, दिस इज फॉर वार्पिंग स्ट्रेस. ओके, एंड दिस इज द C जो है इसको बोलते हैं ब्रैडबेरीज कोफिशिएंट. ओके, सो L by L and B by L is what, it is basically सपोज ये एक पेवमेंट है. ठीक है, ऐसा एक पेवमेंट है. ठीक है, ऐसे गाड़ी जा रहा है, इस तरफ से गाड़ी जा रहा है, ओके। So L is what? Basically, it is the length of the slab. We know rigid pavement is what? We are joining many slabs together to form a roadway. Okay. So L is nothing but the length of the slab. Okay. And B is your width of the slab. Okay. For one lane, what is the width of the slab? What should be the width of the slab if it is single lane? Your B will be for single lane. What is the road width? रोड विड्थ कितना होना चाहिए सिंगल लेन के, उतना ही तो हम लोग स्लैब का भी विड्थ रखना पड़ेगा ना।
हाँ
तो कितना होता है
3.5.
3.5. So
3.5.
B will be here 3.5. Okay, and this is what here, this is your, we can say L is nothing but the expansion joint, contraction joint का spacing भी बोल सकते हैं, कभी कभी तुमको contraction joint spacing बोल के भी दे देता है। Okay, and we know that your L should not exceed 4.5 meter, maximum है 4.5. Okay, generally ये दे देगा तुमको, L is 4.5 generally and B is 3.5 meter. Okay, so and what is this small l? This is your radius of relative stiffness. Okay, ये वाला भी सब तुमको बार बार हम लोग तो आ रहे हैं रिजिट में जब भी कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो इसका रेशियो निकालो, इसका भी रेशियो निकालो। देखो L by L या B by L, ये चार्ट सेम है दोनों केस के लिए। तो फर्स्ट तुम L by L एक निकालोगे, उसका करस्पॉन्डिंग C ये वाला कॉलम से निकलेगा, ठीक है। अब फिर से तुम B by L निकालो, फिर से यही टेबल यूज करके तुम्हारा C निकल आएगा, ठीक है। तो हम L by L को हम LX by L भी बोल सकते हैं, B by L को हम LY by L भी बोल सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो LX by L का करस्पॉन्डिंग C है CX, BX by L का करस्पॉन्डिंग C है तुम्हारा CY, and you have to use this coefficient in this equation. कॉर्नर स्ट्रेस का जो इक्वेशन था उसमें यूज करना है, ठीक है। जैसे कि ये वाला चार्ट से अगर देख लेते हैं हम लोग, ठीक है। तो ये वाला ड्यू टू टेम्परेचर जो था, ड्यू टू टेम्परेचर, ओके, इसमें हमको CX बिठा के एक देखना है, CY बिठा के एक बार देखना है, ओके। देन वी विल गेट whichever is the maximum, we will take that value. Now what is E? Is the Young's modulus of elasticity of concrete, ठीक है। ये दे दिया है kg per centimeter square, या 3 into 10 power 5 भी बोल सकते हैं। अल्फा इज व्हाट, सिंस वी आर डीलिंग विद द टेम्परेचर स्ट्रेस, ओके। नाउ हियर अल्फा इज व्हाट, योर कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ थर्मल एक्सपेंशन। टी क्या है, टी इज है तो हमारा ये वार्पिंग स्ट्रेस है, ओके। वार्पिंग स्ट्रेस हम लोग बोले थे टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टॉप एंड द बॉटम लेयर की वजह से जो स्ट्रेस डेवलप हो रहा है उसको वार्पिंग स्ट्रेस बोलते हैं, ठीक है। और फ्रिक्शनल स्ट्रेस क्या बोलते हैं, ड्यू टू द एटमॉस्फेयर एंड द होल स्लैब के बीच का जो टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस है उसकी वजह से जो स्ट्रेस होगा उसको हम लोग फ्रिक्शनल बोलते हैं। बट हियर इट इज वार्पिंग स्ट्रेस, सो योर टी इज व्हाट, टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस बिटवीन टॉप एंड बॉटम ऑफ द स्लैब, एंड यू कैन कैलकुलेट दिस टी वैल्यू एज डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द लोकेलिटी कहाँ पे है, एंड ऑल्सो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द थिकनेस ऑफ द पेवमेंट, ओके। ये वाला देखो यहाँ पे है शायद, सी दिस चार्ट, you have to use this chart, okay। देखो रिकमेंडेड टेम्परेचर डिफरेंशियल फॉर कंक्रीट स्लैब, देखो जोन के वाइज से तुम्हारा टेम्परेचर ये जो स्मॉल टी का वैल्यू डिफरेंशिएट करेगा, ठीक है। एंड दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन द थिकनेस ऑफ द स्लैब आल्सो, ठीक है। तो पंजाब यूपी जिसमें अगर स्लैब थिकनेस ये एज्यूम किया तो हमको टी का वैल्यू ये लेना है, ठीक है। पंजाब यूपी वाले जगह पे हमारा स्लैब थिकनेस तुमने फर्स्ट 20 सेंटीमीटर एज्यूम किया तो तब ये वाला टी लेना है, वैसे हमको टी आ जाएगा, ओके। सो दिस आर द, ये तो सब हम लोग स्टेप्स में नहीं आए, ओके। व्हाट वी विल डू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास, वी विल डिस्कस द स्टेप, बट बिफोर दैट वी हैव टू नो हाउ टू कैलकुलेट दिस डाटा। वही हमने आज सिखाया, ठीक है, कि क्या क्या डाटा लगेगा और कौन कौन सा चार्ट वी हैव टू यूज, ओके। तो फर्स्ट क्या चाहिए था हमको, ये वाला देखो, ये टर्म हमको चाहिए, LSF चाहिए, ये वाला टर्म चाहिए, C का वैल्यू चाहिए, कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। LSF भी चाहिए हमको, ये जो है तुम्हारा LSF 1.2 होगा कि 1, ये वाला चाहिए, ओके। फिर हमको ये वाला चार्ट चाहिए, ओके, फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द फ्लेक्सुरल स्ट्रेस एट एजेस, एंड फॉर दिस चार्ट व्हाट वी हैव टू नो, ये सिंगल एक्सेल टेंडम एक्सेल क्या है, एंड आल्सो द थिकनेस ऑफ द स्लैब थिकनेस एंड K का वैल्यू चाहिए, ठीक है। एंड योर स्ट्रेस रेशियो निकालना है हमको, ठीक है। कैसे निकालना, हम लोगों ने बोल दिया कि ड्यू टू लोडिंग क्या है फ्लेक्सुरल स्ट्रेंथ एंड व्हाट इज इट्स फ्लेक्सुरल स्ट्रेंथ, मतलब उसका खुद का कैपेसिटी क्या है। ओके, तो ये हम लोग चार्ट से भी या तुम्हारा इक्वेशन से भी हम लोग निकाल सकते हैं। ओके, तो ठीक है, हम यहीं तक ही करेंगे आज।
Okay, ma'am.
In the next class we will discuss the example. Example is already given in your appendix 2. Okay, you can go through it also.
Yes.
Try कर सकते हो खुद करने का, अगर नहीं हम लोग explain करेंगे फिर भी। See this
Okay,
one.
ma'am.
ये देखो देखो
ठीक
ये
है।
वाला, सॉरी ये इक्वेशन सॉरी ये क्वेश्चन है।
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, see this one. These are the data they will give you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay then.
Okay, ma'am.
ओके ठीक है, फिर तुम लोग आज के लिए इतना ही
Okay.
करते हैं।
Thank you, ma'am.
ओके, थैंक यू,
Thank you, ma'am.
वेलकम।